Boom. This is the last one. Series predictions for the conference semifinal round, I should say, of the NBA playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never joined before, my name is AJ Herschel. That's Caven Bauer. This is the Allied Rivals podcast. We talk about baseball, basketball, and football. So there's a little bit of college football thrown in there as well. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the NBA playoffs right now. We've been doing predictions for the entire playoffs so far. We also just did our awards as well. So if you want to find out who we chose for MVP, be sure to check it out. We got a playlist on the main page. Cade, how's it going, man?
It's going good, and I'll say it for the fourth time today. The Bucks won Game 1, and so I'm doing great.
He's going to be riding that high until the next game starts. They'll be like, all right, now we're trying to move on for the next one.
How you doing?
All right. Well, the next one that we're on is Miami Heat versus the Philadelphia 76ers. As I said in one of our earlier ones, every single higher seed moved on, but not every single series was created equal. The Miami Heat absolutely steamrolled over the Atlanta Hawks. Meanwhile, Sixers had a little bit of trouble against Toronto in one or two games, but for the most part, they won by about 30 every single time. So what we're going to do is break down the series and then give us some predictions, because these two teams kind of didn't exactly have to try super hard to get here in the first place. Yeah. So, Cade, you want to start us off with Miami?
Yeah, totally.
Let's do it.
I might have been a little wrong when I said the Hawks are close to what they were last year.
Just a little bit.
They're not. And their regular season might not have looked a whole ton different, but you could see it. Just John Collins, Clint Capella. Trae Young is having to carry so much more, taking the load that John Collins and Clint Capella weren't doing like they were last year. Look, the Heat are doing great. They're the number one seed for a reason. And I think their biggest pickup this year was PJ Tucker off of the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's a big thing. It's just a big defensive piece, a good three-point shooter. But then also you got Bam Adebayo, incredible defender, incredible off the boards. And, of course, Jimmy Buckets, one of the best in the game. I don't really know what to say about the series with the Hawks. It felt like they didn't struggle much. Like really, didn't struggle much at all. But I'm kind of looking for this game just stay healthy. I mean, this series, just stay healthy, because we already know the Sixers are having trouble staying healthy, especially with Embiid. So you just got to keep your guys healthy,
Yeah, and it does. And I mean, having Kyle Lowry out for at least game 1 doesn't help either. Like, we don't know how long it's going to be.
Hamstring, I think. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, like you said, Philadelphia pretty much closed out against the Raptors pretty easily. A lot of people thought that they'd have trouble in Canada, especially with Matisse Thybulle not being able to play. That didn't really happen. They lost one game to the Raptors and kind of dominated the rest of the series, especially the last one. Raptors just didn't have the star power to contend with James Harden. Tyrese Maxey showed up. And, of course, MVP candidate, Mr. I drop 37 a game, or however much it is, 30 a game, Joel, who has live sports, Embiid. Problem is, he's out for games 1 and 2. For those of you that didn't notice, at the end of the Raptors series, he accidentally got smacked in the face by Pascal Siakam's elbow. I believe it was Siakam. And he has a concussion as well as an orbital fracture, which, first of all, wish the best to him. Hope he gets healthy as soon as possible. Hate to see that happen to anybody. But at the same time, that really hurts Philadelphia. You're losing your biggest star, that one of the 3 biggest stars in the NBA this year, for a series against Miami, who are one of the most well put together teams in terms of depth, in terms of team chemistry. Eric Spoelstra is a genius on that side. And so James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, apparently I think is going to be playing defense on Jimmy Butler, is what Doc Rivers said. Doc said he's going to try everything. He's going to try everything for Philadelphia to try to get it pulled together. So we'll see what happens, but they definitely are going to have a rough time against the Heat. There's definitely a difference between the Miami Heat and the Toronto Raptors this year.
I think so. And yeah, I'm just going to give my predictions right
Go ahead, please.
I'm going with Heat in 5.
Yep.
And I'm just assuming that Embiid will probably come back for game 4, maybe even as early as game 3. Just he has like a fighting will, and he wants to be on the court. Now, if it's so serious that he just can't, he's not going to do that. But
right.
I'm picking the Heat, whether Joel Embiid starts game 3 or whether he doesn't play at all. I think the Heat are the more put together team. I think they have better defense in general. And while they don't have the third best player in the league, they still got like one of the best top 5 starting rotations. They got 6th man of the year. They got the defense. They got everything. We're going with the Heat here. Heat in 5.
Yeah, I'm going Heat, but I'm going Heat in 6 on this one. I think once Harden, Embiid gets back, I think they'll be able to definitely take a game or two. Now, that isn't to say I don't think the Sixers are dead in the water without Embiid, but you're losing one of the purest shooters in the NBA. Like, he's a 7-footer who can hit from everywhere. He averages like 33% from 3. It's nuts. Harden is kind of on and off. We all saw his shooting percentage completely plummet during the last week of the year. Of course, he looked decent in the playoffs most of the games, but the Heat are so well put together. They got Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson as well off the bench that can provide basically a 40-point burst between the two of them alone. And regardless of whether Kyle Lowry is there or not, I think that they're going to be able to take it. It's not going to be easy. They're not going to go down real simple. I absolutely do not think the Sixers are going to be fighting the entire time. But with Embiid not at 100%, he was already playing through a torn ligament in his hand. Just to remind y'all, he was already banged up. I think the Heat are going to take it and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be a good series. But I think the Heat, they're healthier. They've got a deeper rotation, especially in the Sixers. Matisse Thybulle is going to lock up whoever he's going to lock up on. But still, I think it's going to go to the Miami Heat as well. But with that being said, we have now filled out our entire predictions for this round, the conference semifinal round of the NBA playoffs. Leave us a comment below. Let us know who you think is going to win this series. Be sure to check out the rest of the channel, like. You've all been on YouTube before. I don't need to tell you this kind of stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Kate, you got anything else to say before we go?
See ya.
Adios.